What are triggers? Ivan Petrovich Pavlov, a Russian and Soviet experimental neurologist, psychologist, and physiologist known for his discovery of classical conditioning through his experiments with dogs. In his famous Pavlov's dog experiment, Ivan rang a bell and delivered food to the dog. The dog associated the bell with the food. If there was no food present, the dog would still salivate in anticipation of the food. We can use this in our daily lives in good ways and in bad ways. In good ways, for example, in my class, we condition you so that you use something called the three-finger technique. When you use this technique, it automatically brings your brain to an alpha state, and you're able to use this state for greater clarity and focus. We also have a number of triggers that have been installed on us in not so nice ways over a lifetime, such as when someone says something to you and it brings up an emotional response, such as an argument. I call this someone is pressing your buttons. You behave in a way that you did in the past, and it's almost uncontrollable. You can't help yourself. When this happens, you need to focus on that event and change it so that you don't make the same response anymore. A few years ago, I had a scout in my troop who was picked on by the other kids. Well, not a very nice thing to do. But what they would do is they would say one thing that kind of pressed his button, and the scout would react in an expected way. The other kids thought it was funny where they could just say one little word and the kid would blow up. I talked to him and explained that what they were doing was like he had buttons all over him, and they would just go press his buttons, and he would react in the same way every time. So when I told him this, it was like a light bulb went off in his brain, and he realized what was going on. Then he started to change his behavior, and he stopped letting the other kids control his response by pressing all his buttons. We all need to look at these automatic responses and the changes and change the ones that limit our ways of responding in ways that we don't really desire. Automatic responses can be words or phrases we use that can cause emotional responses. Either way, make a mental note of the responses to things that you do and the ones that you want to change and the ones that you don't like. Send me a comment on what responses you do that you're in the process of changing.